question we all want to ask or answer with shows like Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch, Beyond Skinwalker Ranch, all those, right? Is why? What's going on? What's really the truth here? And
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, do you guys ever um do you guys ever wonder if you're part of the just a just such a remarkably bigger chessboard that you had no idea about?
Um, yeah, I guess it's one of those things we don't know how what the implications really are until you do something right, and those consequences come. Um, but we've with some of the stuff that we've been waiting to talk about, or like what we're going to be showing in season 5, and when you even go back to season 4 and see some of the stuff that we're showing, and um, like I can tell you, for instance, Eric is going through and creating this crazy model in regards to the in and out recording that we have, where we're on the helicopter and you see this light off in the distance, this UAP come down, and it looks like it goes into the mesa, and then as the helicopter's continuing east, that
That's when
light.
it comes out. That's a wild,
Yeah,
wild.
so Eric, this is one of those things where, like, this is crazy. We're 98%, we're fairly certain we caught a UAP coming in and out of the mesa, right? But again, this is where Eric on the backside, I can tell you for the last couple months, he's been doing a huge model in like Blender and writing code and doing all this cool stuff to really test that, because there's obvious questions. Now, and this is again one that there's so much information that we can talk about, in regards to just one of these experiments. So one of the questions is, okay, was there a rocket still in the air by chance? And as it's coming down to the Earth, was it glinting? Is that the light that we're seeing? Right now, I can tell you, as I was on the helicopter, one of our safety things with Cameron was he wasn't going to fly through the area if we knew there was a rocket still in the air. So, and I talked to Cameron just a couple of weeks ago about that same question, as it was one of those things where I was like, all right, this happened so long ago, let's confirm. And I was like, hey, Cameron, when it comes in regards to this is our safety procedure, right? Anytime you're out and we shoot a rocket off, you don't fly through the area until we know the rocket's on the ground, correct? And he's like, yeah, simple. That's what we do every time. I'm like, okay, cool. And now we take that to Eric, and Eric is like, okay, so what else could this potentially be outside of like a UAP type source? And that's why he's creating this huge model to try and show the potential speed and size of what this was, right? And how big that would be as we're flying through. And he was out taking pictures of the helicopter to make sure the details on the helicopter and the model were correct. So that's the kind of detail he's putting into this thing. And just the amount of work he's doing on it is phenomenal. And that's again the backside stuff that happens during the off season that people don't see, is the amount of work that, like, Eric particularly puts back into a lot of these experiments. And then as we talk about it and evolve that conversation for the next year of, okay, what can we do to maybe either build on this or retest it, you know?
Right.
And so that's kind of where we're at for this for season 6, is we're having those conversations of, okay, what can we do? And based on what we found here, how can we verify it, or how do we test that again? But then that's also so hard. The hard part of this is we feel that some of these results that we get are are that one crazy one off. Like, are we ever going? How can we replicate what happened? So
Well, you can keep talking. I was just gonna
yeah,
play because I wanted to see this one in the background. What is this
yeah.
playing? I don't remember the
So I
bar.
don't know if this is the one,
Is this
but yeah,
KALEB
it's
one?
it's just one of those things. Like, there's so much follow up and so many follow up experiments and things that we can go deep dive into, right? Um, and Eric, I actually went back through my phone
Oh yeah, it's right here.
and yep, and found all this and found a bunch of other videos and photographs that I took while I was on the helicopter during this and gave them to Eric to help him really dial down on the times and where the helicopter was at in space and in relation to this. So, because in between some of these rocket launches that we were doing this night, I took a bunch of photographs and videos and stuff, and like what really struck me that on this night was how clear it was. Uh,
Right.
there was a point where we were just hovering above the ranch, and Cameron was kind of doing a slow turn, and I had my phone out, and I was just recording like the horizon just because I could see so far, and you could clearly see why we're in the Uinta Basin is a basin. Like you could see the mountains all the way around us. And it was just so clear. Like, and obviously my video can't capture that, like our eyes can. But
I know it sucks. It
yeah, so
sucks.
it was kind of one of those things where again I went back through and I found some videos and things that I think are going to help Eric in this. So this is
Well,
just
that's awesome.
just an example. So and and now we've got a whole nother season that we're going to be able to do this for, because again,
Yeah,
like
so
there's
you're renewed for 6?
I don't know for sure yet, but
So I would
everything's
assume
pointing towards it. Yeah,
I would assume that unless the ratings were to take a just like a tremendous dive, which I
yeah,
don't foresee,
oh yeah,
then um then you'd be that's the only case. And even then, I don't even know if they would cancel it. So
yeah,
um just because. But it's I honestly I can't wait for this season. I think I think a lot of things are starting to culminate. I think, you
hmm
know, a lot of the
oh
lessons learned in Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch, they were able to take to beyond Skinwalker Ranch and kind of, some of the mistakes that you got, not that you guys made mistakes in the series,
yeah. Sure,
but
we make
well, yeah, there were things that were done that now, the guys from the other show, they knew not to, so they kind of skipped right to to poking the bear instead
yeah,
of, figuring out how to poke the bear.
yeah.
You guys figured out how to poke it.
And
Now,
I know in that one is they have a lot of contact with Eric and Travis in regards to doing that stuff. So
yeah,
I know that Eric and Travis have had a big part of that, but I don't know how involved they are in the experiments and stuff myself. I don't know.
yeah, I don't
So
think they're too involved in the experiments. It
yeah,
seems like they're just in it to, so it really, if I'm being honest, it seems like they're in it just to tie the shows together, because
yeah,
it's more of like a recap. They're in it they're at the end of every show at the recap. And I
yeah,
think it really no offense, obviously, it's something you have to do. Like, you
yeah,
have to do it. It's a
yeah.
sister show.
They're obviously building off of everything that we're doing.
Yeah,
So
but
and that
I think it's great. I think it's absolutely tremendous, because I think, one of the cool things that we get to see play out is the advancement that you guys make the longer you're at Skinwalker Ranch, the more advanced studies that can be done at these other hotspots on now just on a dime because of you guys. So,
oh yeah,
you're still paving the way. Um, the main show will always be the main show. But what you're doing now is inspiring,
yeah,
um, and allowing other endeavors to happen on, at other places that have rumored to be very
mm,
similar in nature to Skinwalker Ranch.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's there's so much potential for advancement in this realm, if you will. And what's really driving that too, or what's helping that is there's these technologies that are out there that we're using, not and yeah, they're not exactly for the purpose that they're meant for, if you will, but the results that they're getting, and whether that's equipment malfunctions and the equipment's performing in ways that it was never meant to, or it is catching um, actual data in a way that it shouldn't be catching that data, right? Or we never would have caught that kind of data had we not had that type of equipment, right? And again, it's so like for example, let's take Pete's equipment. We've seen in the past his slam scanners and things are how do you make a laser disappear, or like when his the way his slam scanner works and this type of equipment is it literally shoots a laser out, it hits a physical object, and in the time that that returns back helps determine like how far away or what it's made of, how reflective it is. um, and we literally have stuff that's swallowing this energy. But when you go stand where we're standing, it's a freaking field. And how does that how everywhere else you go, that equipment runs the way it's supposed to and shows you that it's a field or that you're hitting the ground and the foliage and it's coming back to you. I've been out with Pete and done I don't know how many scans off season and in past seasons, and we have tons of scans of the ranch, and they've come back fine. But then there's these other times where we're doing experiments, and where the heck's that energy going? Where the heck's that laser going?
It's like a black hole,
Right?
right?
Exactly.
It's like, and you know what? Maybe, maybe there is more than meets the eye to than you know the possibilities of what could be there. Because yeah, what could swallow a laser like that?
Well, and that's and that's the thing is like there again, season 5, you're going to see some results from top of the line equipment that Pete's getting coming out, and we're going, what the heck? Like we're still
So
getting stuff that's surprising.
more GPR, more lidar. Um, is it sounds like
Oh,
you're running the full gambit again.
oh yeah, we've got, again, that's where we're going. We're finding stuff with this equipment that when we go out and we talk with other parties who've been using this technology for 20 plus years, like Pete, and he's going, "Have you ever seen this before in any of your equipment?" And they're all going, "No, what are you doing?"
Right.
It's
Or where yeah, yeah.
yeah, where are you doing this stuff? And now I think
Where
we
is
all
this
know.
coming from? Because
Yeah,
this does not look right.
yeah. and
That
and so that's what's been really fun is seeing again the third party experts coming out even today, and the equipment that they're willing to bring, or the updated equipment from a past model, so it's even better than what we've used before, right? And the stuff still gets us these crazy results, and I'm like, how do you do that?
yeah. That's one of the questions that has always since day one, it's been
Hmm.
intriguing me. Why is like there's been so many experiments where like things will go underground. Like it looks like you flew underground, came back up, and then into the mesa, and like that's happened like on multiple occasions with multiple different types of sensors, and it's
Yes.
like it's always bothered me because it's like it's repeating but on different
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
um
Yeah,
uh
different equipment.
different
We're
equipment.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're getting a lot of the same results, right? So, like I noticed a comment about um, I want to say during Blazing Bear, we had what looks like in some infrared, some two objects come down and fly into the mesa, right? Well, where the mesa edge is, it looks like they either went behind it or they did go inside. But and so there's some very similar results that we've caught on multiple equipment of what looks like stuff coming in and out of the mesa, right? But I think that's why that footage of the helicopter on that night where we're shooting the two rockets that we just looked at was so profound, was because it's really hard to argue that one.
Yeah,
If
you see it go, and then just